Good morning, I'm Jim Cooper, Editor-in-Chief of Digiday, and we're here on the first morning of the first day of the 2024 Possible Conference in Miami. And we're starting off today with a great guest, Harry Kargman, who is the founder and CEO of Kargo. Harry, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's exciting to be here. It's the second year of Possible, and it's really amazing. I heard that there's something like 2,000, 3,000 attendees from the industry here. So you can feel the energy. It's another year where, people are trying to figure out where's the wind's blowing. Is it blowing to social? Is it blowing to CTV? Is it blowing to retail media? What happens to the open web and display? And so to be here, to listen to the speakers, should be really exciting. Should be a great next 3 days.
Okay, great. That's a great segue to my first question. What do you think the most important conversation you'll have over the next 2 days will be?
Well, for us, we will try to have conversations with clients. For my own opportunity to sit with our clients, to talk to clients, to get an understanding of where their investments are going to be this year, whether it's into CTV, into linear video, how the upfronts, which are taking place right now, are going to unfold, and how much money is shifting into programmatic. That understanding of media mix and what their goals are, and just the overall economy in general, the strength of the US consumer as well as the global consumer, I think that's going to be the most interesting conversations, because then it will give you directionally, are you investing because people are going to be investing themselves, or are you thinking about this as a sort of a mezzanine year between either growth or decline that you have to be careful to try to find the signals?
So how are clients' KPIs evolving? We're at this really amazing inflection point in the business where things are changing really quickly. How are the KPIs evolving?
So when you look at measurement specifically, there's two opposing forces. There's been a huge amount of investment into getting better, more discrete understanding of both offline and online transactions. So you can see that, I think, primarily in social. You see that discrete logging in of consumers into CTV, and then at the same time you see the pending death of the cookie, which will not only disrupt targeting, but will also disrupt measurement, with an understanding that there's still massive amounts of audience there, and they're still really important. And so it's going to be a really interesting year to see how strategies change. And when I say strategies change, with the open web, maybe it drives to context, maybe it opens up new strategies to deploy their dollars to find better users or new users that they weren't hitting previously, just because of the deprecation of the cookie and Apple ecosystem, which has been around for a long time. So there's this realization that there's lots of consumers there that they can target. And at the same time, there's going to be more investment in addressable places like CTV and potentially social. The question is, will that drive the same results? Because in the end of the day, marketers are looking for results, and just because you can measure it doesn't necessarily mean that that's where the best results are going to be driven.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's these big existential questions surrounding the marketplace. One of those is AI. Do you feel like we're at the sort of the hype cycle end for AI, and how have you been using it at Kargo?
Yeah, so I take the viewpoint that AI is just a tool, right? It has to make your workflow faster, easier, more successful, but in itself, it's not just this thing that's going to suck jobs and sort of put people out of work and is going to, in itself, drive any kind of sort of outcomes. What I mean specifically is, how can you apply AI to potentially trying a variety of different wording in the advertising? Potentially it helps you generate some imagery in the advertising. Potentially it helps you with machine learning to do better optimization, but those are all specific activities where the machine learning and AI models help you do your job better, but they're not disrupting things whole cloth and saying, well, we don't need a media agency, a creative agency, a Kargo, because I don't see that as happening for the next, I would say, decade plus, if at all, if ever.
So if you could remove one thing that's getting in the way of meaningful progress in your business, but also in the industry in general, what would it be?
Well, I think there's an obsession with KPIs that don't really matter. So, as an example, some of the questions around what is the margin profile of the agency, what is the margin profile of companies like Kargo, if you don't have addressability, is it even worth spending in that area if you're talking about open web? All of those things, I think, are less relevant to the KPIs that really do matter, which is, do you see a uptick in sales? Do you see an uptick in brand lift? Do you see an uptick in driving results? And I think that we get so caught up in the minutia of the industry instead of keeping the eye on the prize, which is who's driving results, and do you see, the ultimate client winning, instead of what is the, change or shift in the relationships between all the players inside the industry. I think that would be the one thing that the industry could focus on as being a little bit of a distraction to what's really important, which is driving results.
Okay, Harry Kargman is the CEO and founder of Kargo. Harry, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.